My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Announced a new cartoon series today, the Cuphead show based off Studio MDHR's 2017 side-scroller Cuphead. The show is expected to expand on the characters and world of Cuphead, an animation style inspired by the classic Fleischer cartoons from the 1930s, according to the press release. It's gonna sound good, man. Expanding on the world of Cuphead, we get to see more of it that wasn't in the game. It sounds pretty good so far. No release date has been announced for the Cuphead show. Studio MDHR told IGN that the game will not be simply a retelling of Cuphead. The game told its story, Cuphead co-creator Jared Moldhauer told IGN. The cartoon will tell its own. Chad and Jared Moldhauer are signed as executive producers for Studio MDHR's involvement. Good. When the original studio is involved, I have confidence already that it's going to be a good show. CJ Kettler will do the same for King Features. The Cuphead show will be produced and drawn by folks over at Netflix Animation and exclusively produced by Mickey Mouse Shorts, Dave Wasson, and Rock of Modern Life, Static, Klings, Cosmo, Sergeson. So I have confidence that the Cuphead show will be a good show. I really hope it is. Like, this is a wonderful concept you have. I hope to just do something with it, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful show. After its release in 2017, Cuphead was widely praised for its blend of seriously hard gameplay and stunning animation. It went on to sell 4 million copies and won 20 major awards according to the press release. Chad Moldenhauer also told IGN that the show would stay far away from computer-assisted puppeteer animation as possible, opting instead for hand-drawn aesthetic that made the game garner so much attention to begin with. But that aesthetic also led some to criticize Cuphead and Studio NDHR for whitewashing the racist history of Fleischer style art. Okay, I'll give this to you. Some use the Fleischer style art in racist ways. I will give that to you. But not every single piece of Fleischer animation is racist. I'll give you 3 examples. The Superman cartoon was a Fleischer style animation, looked gorgeous, looked awesome. Betty Boop was Fleischer style animation, still looked great. And Popeye was also Fleischer style animation. Those 3 are not racist. So, yes, it has 99% majority of that was used in a racist way, but some of the few were not used in that way. Just because some people used it in that way does not mean every single piece of Fleischer animation was used like that. So you can't say, oh, you're whitewashing the history of Fleischer animation when not every single piece was like that in the first place. And when people are playing this game, they're not going to say, oh, that's a racist Fleischer animation. I should stay away from that game. No, they're just going to play a video game. And that's about it. In a piece titled Cuphead and the Racist Spectre of Fleischer Animation, oh boy, here we go. Critic Yusuf Cole wrote, for an unwinnable game that the visuals are weighed down by the history that brought them into being, despite the developers' best efforts of stripping them of the more overt caricatures that are rife in cartoons for most of the half of the 20th century. So, like I said, just because some people used it that way doesn't mean these producers are necessarily doing that at all. They just want to use that Fleischer animation because it looks like good, actually quality animation, to be honest. And it fits the aesthetic for their game that they're going for. If they were to use, like, say, 3D animation or something like that, it wouldn't fit the aesthetic at all, what they were going for. The Fleischer animation fits, like, the 1930s like aesthetic they placed in the game. That's what they're going for. What else kind of animation are they going to use? Are they going to avoid this Fleischer animation because it has some controversial history behind it? No, you shouldn't avoid something because it has something controversial behind it. At all. If it's good animation, then go ahead and do it. Just know that, yeah, some people did some bad things with it. But then say, hey, I can do something better with it and redeem it a little bit, you know? When asked about Fleischer style's use of racist stereotypes and whether Studio MDHR was attempting to say anything about America's own history by using them, Cuphead producer and lead inking artist Maja Moldenhauer told Rolling Stone that it's visuals and that's about it. Anything else happening in that era, we're not versed in it. Blame it on being Canadian. So yeah, They're not gonna know anything about like the Fleischer style that was used in American history because they're Canadian after all. No offense to anybody, but what are they gonna know about like Fleischer style what happened like in America if they're like all the way across like the pond over there? You know what I'm saying? As Cole points out, though some players cannot easily escape the implications or the baggage of the style, yes, this style comes with baggage. But you know that history of like that style that was used like that. Like I said, I gave 3 examples that weren't, but 99% of it was. But you're not gonna shy away from that style just because it has some of the baggage. Like some of that stuff was terrible and was racist. Yes, I give it to you. But you shouldn't shy away from a whole like fantastic animation because some idiots decided to do something terrible with it. You don't do that. By sanitizing its source material and presenting only the ostensibly inoffensive bits, Studio Indie HR knows the context and history of the aesthetic it so faithfully replicates, he writes. Playing as a black person, ever aware of the way we have historically been and continue to be depicted in all kinds of media. Oh, get over yourself with that. Seriously. Stop acting like a victim. I swear to God, every single time I read this, it just pisses me off a little bit more. I played this as a black person myself, and I had no problem with the style. I just see it as animation, and that's it. I'm not feeling victimized all the time. All the times as you are doing that, if you see this animation, you need to live in a bubble and in a dark room, and that's about it, and nothing else but your own thoughts in your own echo chamber. That's what I think of you when you type like that. I don't quite have that luxury. Instead, I see a game that's haunted by ghosts, not those confined to its macabre boss fights, but the specter of black culture, appropriated by its 2 minstrels set, then by the Fleischers. Disney and others twisted into caricatures helped define American cartoons for the better part of the century. Like I said, it has that baggage. But you say, oh, it's black culture and stuff like that. Yes, the minstrel shows were like long time ago. Yes, you recognize those things were terrible. But are you going to shy away from it? No. I've seen those like things on YouTube already, those compilations. Yes, they were offensive, but that was that time. You shouldn't shy away from a whole box of good animation just because some idiots decided to do something racist with it. How do you not see this? Jared Moldenhauer told IGN that the show is in the beginning process. It's unclear how or if Netflix will contend with or address any implications from the art of the era. Netflix has not responded to Vice's request for comment by publication time, nor should they. Chad Moldenhauer did mention to IGN that the show will be safe for kids, but written so there are also things that adults find funny and appeals to a wider audience. See, I really hope the show does well, and I hope it just doesn't fade after one season, Hope it sticks around for a while. So that's going to be it for me. If you want to see my last Electric Rants, click that little eye over there. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Electric Load. Go ahead. Follow me there if you want. Have a great day, guys. Remember to stay awesome.